That better? Can you hear me now? Sorry. That's my fault. So, yeah, that was my fault. Sorry, I forgot when Uh, I done an update on my computer, reset everything, I fixed my other screen. I forgot to fix this one. But, yeah, as I was saying, thank you for the raid. Sitting here singing along to Grease while I was getting ready. Gotta admit, it's one of my guilty pleasures. I love musicals. Shh, don't tell anyone. I did say that I was looking forward to Bohemian Rhapsody next week because I've not seen it, and then I realised I'm not going to be here because I'm working. I'm actually going to be up Beardy's neck of the woods. We're up in Glasgow, up there working. So, but yeah, I was sitting here getting ready, singing along. It was great. Right, so let's get the legalities out of the way. Kiddo, my bad, forgot to text you, was, well, singing along to Grease. I'm not gonna lie, I was singing along to Grease. Oh. Right, so, legalities. Just a quick reminder that these stories are strictly for mature audiences only, not for anyone under the age of 18 or anyone with a nervous disposition. Never mind that. Any previous stories that you may have missed because, well, it's the summer, everybody's been away, they do get uploaded weekly to my YouTube channel, Buckybird. It's all my socials are the same. If you are watching this on YouTube, then please feel free to like, comment, and share the video. If you are sharing the video, however, do mention that it is for over 18s only. On another note, if you get the chance, please do check out my YouTube channel because I actually uploaded today the first of hopefully many vlogs. Few surprises in it from our trip away. So that got uploaded earlier, like it's like 20-minute video or something after I finished editing it last night. So yeah, good giggle. You even get to see me without the makeup on. Not so good. You also get to see me with a drink in me. Quite funny. But yep, if you are then watching on YouTube, then please hit sub and ring the bell so that you get told when I upload. It's actually quite funny. I sat and edited it last night after the podcast, and it was quite funny. I'm actually quite impressed. So, part 2 of the True Life Supernatural series is a week late, and unfortunately it will take me twice as long to get the full series out to you due to real life commitments. As you know, it's convention season, and me and Ginger Minnie we crew at Comic Cons and conventions up and down the country. So this series is going to take a wee bit longer than expected. The plan is tonight's story, right? Then we're off next week because we're up in Glasgow. Then we're back, so we'll get another story. I'll get part 3 in 2 weeks from now. Then we're off again, I'm afraid, to go to Birmingham. And then, all being well, on the 11th of September, the 4th and final instalment of this particular series will go out. But that is subject to change due to personal reasons. I'm sorry, my hair is irritating my face. I should have put hairspray in it, but never mind. But like I said, the 11th of September, I'm hoping to have the final episode out. But that might change. But if it does, I will let you know. But that's the plan for now. So let's get on with tonight's instalment. yeah. Yeah, because we'll be in Birmingham for Collectomania. Not done that one before. In fact, I've not done Glasgow before either. Ginge has. I haven't. He did the security up there a few years ago, so he's at least familiar with it. I know the site because I used to watch security up on it regularly, but I've not been to I've not been to Glasgow Film Comic Con, so that'll be interesting. And then Collectomania in Birmingham 2 weeks after that. But like I said, if anything changes, I'll keep you informed. I mean, everybody here's on the Discord, so I'll let you know. And hopefully, everything goes right. So, last time, we covered the ridiculous story of a man being tried, convicted, and executed for the crime of being a werewolf. And tonight we are covering a story that is almost as mind-boggling. Almost. Because, yeah. Tonight we are covering witches. Not just any witches. We are covering a group of witches from a certain area of Scotland. We are travelling up north, about 3 hours from here. And we are going to a town just outside of Dundee. It is a town by the name of Forfar, made famous for their bridies. Do love a Forfar bridie. Why did I not get you to bring me any down? Damn it! I missed a trick there, kiddo. Now, as I said, Forfar is just outside Dundee in Scotland, about 3.5 hours from here. And this story comes as a recommendation from my brother-in-law, who is from that area originally. And he put me onto this story. Just like it was actually the same brother-in-law, I've got a few of them, that put me on to the Christie of the Cleek story. With, God, I think that was week 2 when I was doing this, I think. Yeah, week 2. Jeez. I've really been doing this that long. The best of it is I've kept all my paperwork, so all my stories are still documented. Yeah, I used to eat them all the time when I was up that way. Sorry, I'm going to keep drinking that. It is so warm tonight. It is... Oh, and it took me twice as long to get the makeup on because I was putting it on and I'm thinking, I really don't want to sit with all this on. It's so heavy. But, yeah, hope you're all holding up in the heat. Me, not so much. Naturally ginger and I'm gothic. No. It's almost over. Autumn is almost upon us, my favourite season. You know. I do so, Conch. It's packed up at the moment. But yes, I have actually got an archive. I'm going to see about... Hi, Beth! But no, I'm going to see about getting a filing cabinet and getting them all alphabetised and put under lock and key because quite frankly some of them are disturbing. But yeah, I've got the first couple are handwritten, so I need to type them out because that was before my printer started working again. But I got it there in the end.
Hi, how are you?
Sweating my boobs off. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, Red, I don't like the heat either. It's no fun. It's really no. But I'm glad I'm not working this weekend and this been there, done that this year. Don't fancy it again. So I hope it's cooler next weekend. Although, where we're working is an ice rink, technically, I mean, it's covered, but so it shouldn't be too cold, too warm, I'm hoping. I mean, when I was working there previously, even when the ice was covered, it was really cool in there, so it was nice. Wraith coming in with 100 bitties. Wow, thank you. Thank you so much. And I've just noticed that you can't see. I've covered my alert box. Let's shrink that. Move that up there. There we go. That's a bit better. Thank you so much. Right, so, set the scene. We're on Forfar, right? And we're going back to the 1660s. A time when, as we've discussed previously, if a woman showed any signs of intelligence or independence, she was a witch. And anything that people couldn't explain, which to be fair was about 90% of stuff, was blamed on witchcraft. I didn't think that was working there. And women were tried and killed because, as I've said before, and I will continue to say, people back then were idiots. They were dangerous and they were idiots. Now, in Forfar, in the 1660s, an argument broke out between a woman named Isabel Shirey. I am going to butcher some of these names. I apologise in advance. I have got a speech impediment. Some of these are really difficult to pronounce. They're in Old Scots. I will try. So, apologies to any descendants I might offend. I am trying my best. So argument broke out between Isabel Shirey and a Forfar official. He was actually a bailie by the name of George Wood. And this began the most famous Angus witch trials. Angus, the area in Scotland, this is the biggest witch hunt and witch subsequent trial that they had seen. Now, after the argument took place, rumours began to circulate that Isabel had placed a curse on George. Like, really? A curse? Like, I'm going to keep repeating this and I'm sorry, but I don't get it. Just because a woman doesn't keep her mouth shut when told to, just because she argues back, she and everybody she knows are suddenly witches. And that they must be stopped because they're in league with the devil. Yeah, one of those stories, folks. But here's the thing. Isabel actually confessed to witchcraft. Now, from what I've read, right, most of the women weren't tortured. Yeah, they confessed. So, without torture, Isabel confessed to witchcraft. And she's claimed to have made a poison from a dead man's remains, which she slipped into George's drink and killed him. Now, because of the curse, many women were rounded up and arrested for being witches. They were imprisoned, some of them were tortured for their crimes, and the police or official witch hunters or whoever oversaw this farce even brought in an expert witch finder. by the name of John Kincaid, who was able to discover a witch by spotting the devil's mark on her body. Yeah, you heard that right. The poor woman was accused of being a witch because she had a birthmark. Better come chat my door. And while you're arresting me, you might want to arrest my kids as well, because we've all got birthmarks. Theirs isn't noticeable. It's right at the nape of their neck and their hairline. Strawberry birthmark. Can't see it because of their hair. See? We're multiplying. Me, my birthmark's easy. Spot. Yeah. It's not visible in this light. It's on my shoulder. Now, side note. Did you know that birthmarks are supposed to be the scar left behind from how you died in a past life? I mean, that's not really important to the story. I just thought it was interesting and wanted to share. That's it. I just think that's quite an interesting wee thing. Well, back to the main event. Yeah. So, Kincaid was paid a rather large sum of money. See, I think I was shot, and that's what caused the birthmark. Your knuckle. That's a weird one. How would you die for a knuckle injury? Unless you cut yourself and it got infected. So, yeah, Kincaid was paid a rather large sum of money for discovering this witch. And the freedom of forfeit. I've looked into it. It is the same as the key to the city that you get if you do something good, I guess. Yeah, I didn't think of that one. Yeah. So he was awarded the key to the city, or the freedom of forfeit, for discovering this witch. Don't actually have a name in this woman though, which is kind of odd, but there you go. Now, 25th of September, 16... I kept going to type 19 as well. 1661. A woman by the name of Helen Guthrie told authorities a startling tale, which brought so many more women into the witch hunt. Helen became known to authorities because she was ill-behaved, whatever that means. Now, Helen claimed that she was a very drunkensome woman who swore a lot and in general wasn't a very nice person. Okay, I get that she was a bit of a gobby mare who liked to drink, but how that makes her a witch is anybody's guess. Yeah, I'm thinking that. Now, she confessed to learning witchcraft from a woman named Jonette Galloway, who lived near Kirriemuir. Don't know. For some reason I didn't think to find out where, but I'm assuming it was up north, up near the Dundee area, because let's face it, people back then didn't really travel very far. She boasted about having skills to effectively curse anyone she wished, and that she had the ability to tell if someone was a witch. I forgot to see in that. Using her own magic. Thank you, kiddo. I thought that. She also revealed the act of other witches, both male and female. However, She denied being involved in the evil deeds that they participated in. So like, they're doing this, they're witches, him, her, and him, they're all this, that, and the other. But I know they're doing it, but I use my magic to find out that they're doing it. I know what they're doing, but I never done it. I never took part. It's all on them. I just know that they done it. Now, on the 15th of September, no, that can't be right. Yeah. Certainly something. Why does that say the 15th if that was the 25th? I've got my dates modelled up. She confessed on the 25th, on the 15th, and on the 25th of September. My apologies, I've got my dates modelled up. That never happens. Years, yes. Dates, no. While in prison, guards reported that the devil himself came in to free Helen, but he was only able to lift her a few feet into the air before the guards intervened and cut her down with their swords. They actually said they saw her floating a few foot in the air. Yeah. Was there maybe a some kind of mass hysteria, maybe a poisonous gas leak in Dundee in this time? Who knows? But they actually reported to seeing this woman floating in the air. Or rather, yeah, I'm thinking that as well. It's not that they saw her floating, they saw the devil lift her up. Really? Really? Yeah, they're definitely huffing on fumes up there. Really? These are prison guards. It gets better. Now, Helen Guthrie was not a nice woman. She was a drunk who lived with her teenage daughter, Janet Howie, who was also accused of being a witch. Her confession, Helen's confession, led to the deaths of many people. Now, Janet was only 13 when she was imprisoned in 1661. Now, Helen Guthrie was not a witch, okay? She did not have magical powers. She was simply a vile drunk who wanted to hurt people for whatever reason she had. I mean, my personal theory was that she was a miserable little woman and misery loves company. So that's why she did it. She just simply enjoyed making others suffer. Because she was a miserable little cunt. Now, there is no mention of a husband for her. But just a warning, a lot of these women have got similar names. Or same first names or same surnames, so it can get a bit confusing. Now, Helen wasn't the only person who confessed to witchcraft in September. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Oh, Kathy Bates. I do like Kathy Bates. It's a good movie. I'll add it to the list. I'll get that downloaded later. I mean, I'll get it through legitimate means. It's a really good movie. Don't worry, I will give gore warnings. I'll probably find a way of doing some kind of scale, like a 1 to 5, 5 being horrendous, 1 being mild. Misery would probably come in at 1, to max because of the hammer scene. But so I'll sort something out so that you can, if it's going to be gory, because I wouldn't show something that I've not already watched out of fear that I don't categorise it right. So there will be some kind of gore scale. I need to work out the final details. Right, so she wasn't the only woman that confessed in September to witchcraft. After Helen came a woman by the name of Jonette Hewitt. Something. Also told a similar tale. Now she claimed that Isabel Shirey, you remember Little Poison Lady, carried her to an island in the Forth River and presented her to the devil. But get this, as if being offered to the devil himself wasn't bad enough for poor Jonette, the devil went on to insult her by asking what he would do with such a little bairn. So she was quite young. To which Isabel replied, "Show us my maid and take her to you." Now, according to Jonette's confession, there were around 13 witches there that night. They were all partying with the devil, 4 of whom she recognised and named to the authorities. She also said that she joined in the partying and danced with the devil and the other witches. 4 weeks later, Isabel took young Jonette to a meeting in Murray Knowes, where there were around 20 witches at this meeting, along with the devil, where they ate beef, they drank ale, and they danced the night away. I mean, the devil does sure like a good party by the sounds of it. It was at this meeting that Jonette claimed that she kissed the devil and he pinched her shoulder so hard that it was still painful sometime later. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Food, drink, partying, snogging the devil and getting injured. Yeah. You win some, you lose some. Now, 6 more weeks pass, and there's another meeting. Now, they keep calling them meetings, right? But I see them more than that. They're no meetings, they're parties. But whatever you want to call them, another one happened, this time in Lapidub. I promise I'm not making these names up. She met the devil again at this party, and he called her a bony bird. Now, I don't know if she was meaning he was saying bony as in skinny, or bony as in bonny or pretty. But bird being lucky bird, female. So it was either a skinny girl or a pretty girl. But either way, he kissed her again. I know, right? And he pinched her on the shoulder, the same place he'd pinched her before, and the pain disappeared. Just poof, gone. At another party, this time over in Newman Hill, I promise I'm not making them up, she claims to have seen her mother having sex with the devil. And after he was finished doing the deed, he rode off on a black horse. And Jonette followed. But the devil ordered her to return to her mother. And when she did, Her mother warned her not to tell her father what she had witnessed that night. It's like, I know you saw me shag the devil, but you can't tell your dad, love. What are these folk on? I know. It's like, oh. Now, I don't know what was going on in Forfar in the surrounding area at that time, but these people genuinely believed that they were witches and that they were hanging out and partying with the devil. And it wasn't just women either. Men would also confess that they had met the devil. Now, personally, I think it might have been someone new to the area, taking advantage of the witch hysteria, posing as the devil in order to get what he wanted. One man named John Tailser claimed that on 2 separate occasions the devil appeared to him and offered to lend him money. But on both occasions he refused, stating that he didn't want to meddle with his money. Smart man there, no making a deal with the devil. But I'm starting to think that yes, there was somebody there, but I think it was somebody pretending to be the devil in order to basically just party it up with the local women. And men tell you the sounds of it, that's a weird one. Now, on the same night that Helen received a visit from the devil, yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like to me. But on the same night that Helen received a visit from the devil, who tried and failed to release her from prison, Isabel confessed to authorities that she was a witch. Really? She named 6 other witches and confessed to partying and fornicating with the devil. She also confessed to poisoning George Woods with a potion made from toads, parts of a human skull, and a dead man's flesh that the devil had cursed. The price of the devil's help in the murder was that she herself would be dead within 20 days. The next confession came 2 days later, and I've just had a thought. I'll come back to that. This is literally just jumped into my head right now, but I'll come back to this. So put a pin in that. I'll discuss that at the end. So the next confession comes 2 days later from Elspeth Alexander. She would say that she met the devil 3.5 years earlier at a party at Petterden. Now at this party, they would dance and they would get nicknames from the devil, and this is where she received her devil's mark on her shoulder. Now she would meet him twice more at different locations, and on the 3rd meeting the devil gave her a cold kiss. Whatever that means, I don't know. On the same day as Elspeth confessed, another woman came forward with a similar story. Jonette Stout. I told you they've all got the same names. It gets confusing. Buy a baby book, people. Lots of names in there. So Jonette Stout claims that she also partied with the devil at 3 different locations, and even claims to have had sex with him at the Petterden party. The next woman in the ever-growing list is Catherine Porter, who says she first met the devil at a quarry with 2 others, but claims she got scared and ran away. This is where it gets interesting. She got scared and she ran away in a quarry. Fine, that's understandable, that's acceptable. Catherine Porter was completely blind. 100% blind, couldn't see. She got scared and ran away from the devil. Yeah. Now, she claims she met him 2 more times after that, and he even temporarily restored her sight so that she was able to look upon him. And she described him as being wrapped in a black plaid, so black tartan, black kilt. Yeah. The blind woman says that the devil's wearing a black kilt. Next up, we have Agnes Spark joining the party. Now, she would say that good old Isabel Shirey took her to a party in Little Milne the previous summer, where there were a dozen people dancing to sweet music. She would also say that the people at this particular party referred to Isabel as the devil's horse, as he always rode upon her. I'm pretty sure you don't need me to explain what they meant by that. We're all adults here. Now, she claimed that Isabel tried to enlist her into the devil's service, but she turned the offer down. So, September's been a busy month. We're finally making it to October. No, I know, but it clearly states devil's horse because he rode upon her. That's a direct quote that I found. Yeah. Well, they definitely were descriptive back then. Tell you something, brother, you got me a good one this time. Don't do that, kiddo. But yeah, brother, you got me a good one this time. Although, to be fair, the last one you gave me was good as well. Although he ended up down here. Don't like that bit. Don't like it when they end up down here. Why do they always end up down here? Don't think they did. That's irrelevant. So, Agnes Sparks turns down. Would have been a waste of food. She doesn't even have a cat or a dog that could have ate it for her. So, we're on to October. Finally made it to October. And on the 28th of October, Helen had another confession to make. Gail, Conch is asking what you're having for eating. Tell him if he's got any more, by the way. Hit me up. Comes away with some good ones. So, Helen. Good old Helen. Oh, hey bro. She had another confession to make. I mean, she was the star witness after all. She knew all about these witches and was able to find them with her magical powers. Oh, I might have a bacon butty once I'm finished, actually. I say bacon butty, it's no bacon. It's fake. It's bacon. It's Richmond vegan bacon. I'm sad. I'll have, maybe. I'll see. Now, first off, Helen would say that she murdered her half-sister, Margaret Hutchin, who was 6 or 7 at the time. Now, young Margaret, whatever, died a few days after Helen had hit her. Whether she died as a result of the assault or something else entirely, it's not clear. But Helen believed she was the reason that the little girl died. She told tales of parties with the devil and of cannibalism. Wonder how long that would take. Always just seems to creep in there, don't it? Seriously, I need to just start with the tag cannibalism. She told stories of how her and her fellow witches tried to bring down a bridge with their bare hands, but failed and injured their shoulders. No fucking shit, Sherlock. Oh my god. And she even brought John Taylor into it. You remember John, right? The man who refused to borrow money for the devil? Well, apparently, he can shapeshift into any animal and would go through fields in the form of a pig or a toad. Yeah. Destroying crops. Again, we go back to shit I thought I would never be saying. She also admitted that she had been a witch for a long time, even when she had lived abroad with gypsies. Skip forward a bit. 1 July 1662. Good old Helen is brought out to confront Elspeth Bruce and accuse her of witchcraft as well. Because, well, that's what Helen does. She ruins lives of probably completely innocent people, just for kicks. Now, Helen claims that Elspeth was part of the group of witches that tried to bring down the bridge, and that she was responsible for the death of Lady Isabel Ogilvy, the daughter of the Earl of Ogilvy. Not Ogilvy, I was right the first time. Now, Elspeth denied all accusations, but unfortunately for her, entered yet another new player, Isabel Smith, who herself had confessed to being a witch just a few months earlier, and begged and pleaded for mercy after admitting she sold her soul to the devil years ago for the annual fee of 3 halfpennies. So Isabel Smith backed up Helen's story, and poor Elspeth was screwed. Isabel also claimed that she was able to magically steal milk from neighbours' cows, and that 2 men died after she touched them. And she sold her soul in order to get revenge on one of the men, a James Gray. The other man she killed simply by touching was John Dargay. Damn. In early 1662, 3 women were sentenced to death for being witches. Isabel Smith, Helen Cottle, and Elspeth Alexander. Marjorie Ritchie testified that summer against the women, saying that the devil appeared to her 3 times disguised as a woman. She caused a cow to follow her home from Alyth Market and spread sickness and death amongst her neighbours. Okay. Seriously, what are all these women smoking? Witchcraft does not work that way. Yes, I believe in magic. I am a practicing pagan witch. But I know that the devil can't give me powers to kill a man simply by touching him. doesn't work that way, because the devil doesn't exist. He is the boogeyman, made up to scare boys and girls into being good little religious sheep. The devil, Satan, Beelzebub, Lucifer. Whatever you want to call him, he does not exist. You've lost me there, kiddo. Fiction. From a very old from the very first science fiction fantasy novel, the Bible. But we won't go there. That's just my personal beliefs. If you have your own, that's fine as well. Just don't force them on me. Now, the devil... No, it's fantasy and sci-fi. Science fiction. I stand by what I said. Now, he didn't appear to these people. He didn't sleep with them. He didn't give them powers and offer to loan them money. I've said it before and I'll say it again. People cannot shape shift. Okay? They can't. It's not possible. In fact, it's physically impossible. Can't be done. Nope. These people are morons. And the sheer stupidity of them annoys the life out of me. If you couldn't already tell. Sorry. Run over. Back to the story. Well, yeah. Unless you're a mutant or a soup or whatever it is. Every fandom's got a different name. But yes. We've got mutants, soups, Oh, that's going to annoy me. Metas. That was the one. Right. Now, we don't know what happened to all the women that were accused of being witches. But we do know the fate of some of them. And it wasn't pretty. In fact, it was kind of downright ugly. The first witch to be killed was Giselle Simpson. And she was lynched by a mob from Forfar. She never even made it to the execution block. Good old Helen Guthrie was the last of around 6 or so witches to be legally executed in public in December of 1662. The women, the first being Isabel Shirey, or the Devil's Horse as she was known, were strangled then burned in barrels of tar. Janet Bertie and Helen Alexander. Give me 2 seconds. I need to... hit that snooze button. So, I've not got much left to go, so I don't see the point of running an ad break. So, Janet Bertie and Helen Alexander and a few others were simply banished from the area. Margaret and Elizabeth Guthrie were from Montrose, and they were lucky because they had a brother, James Guthrie, in Dundee, who happened to be a bloody good lawyer. And he was able to engineer their escape. Now, James didn't stop there. He also went on to fight for young Janet Howie, the daughter of Helen Guthrie. Now, in 1666, he was able to get a retrial approved for the young girl. However, we don't know if it was successful. We don't even know if it went ahead because there's no record that the new trial happened. We don't know for certain what happened to young Janet. And one account that I read completely contradicts this, but this is the most common account that I'm finding. But on one account, it said that in 1663, she was released and banished from the area. But several other accounts give this version, where she simply vanished. There is no record of her at all after she was sent to jail, and Guthrie was successful in getting a retrial approved. The retrial, as far as we know, didn't go ahead. There's no record either way. She may have spent the rest of her life in prison. She may have been executed like her mother. We'll never know for sure. I hope she was released, but again, there's no record. There's no record of her execution. There's no record of her release, her escape, her retrial, nothing. Now, there are also rumours of some kind of kinship between James Guthrie and his sisters and Helen Guthrie. Obviously, they've got the same surname, but a lot of people have got that. But there's rumours of kinship because he tried to help the daughter out and tried to help her get out of jail. Again, there's no official record to state that they were related, they weren't related. We just don't know. Now, soon after the events in Forfar, witch hysteria came to an end in the country, and no more women were tried and executed for the crime of witchcraft, making Helen Guthrie, in the area, making Helen Guthrie the last woman in Angus to be executed. What did I say right? What did I say right? Forfar. So Helen Guthrie was the last woman to be executed in the Angus area for the crime of witchcraft. And thank goodness, because like I said, witchcraft, as they explained it, simply doesn't exist. All these women, not just in Forfar, but all over the world, they died for no reason. They were blamed for crops failing, for animals and people dying. Pretty much blamed for everything, and that people couldn't explain. And like I said, to be fair, that was quite a lot back then. They really didn't know much of anything. Now, there you have it. The story of the Forfar witches and the final witch executed in Forfar and Angus. Sadly, not in the world. Now, Janet Horne was the last witch to be executed in Britain in 1727. She was also Scottish. Anna Goldie was the last witch executed in Europe in 1782. And for once, America's ahead of the pack. Go the Americans, because the last person to hang for witchcraft in America was one of either 6 women or 2 men in Salem, Massachusetts, on the 22nd of September 1692. But all 8 people were hanged at the same time in a group, so it's impossible to know who died last. But yeah, the Americans stopped killing witches before the rest of the world. Who'd have thought it? America, ahead of the pack in something. They're normally catching up in the rear. But, hey ho. Now, all I can say is, like I've said, I'm glad that witch hysteria ended. Because if not, my ass would have been swinging for a noose. Or I would have been set on fire a long time ago. And not only because I'm an educated, outspoken woman who's got a love of pockets and lipstick, but because I am very open about the fact that I do indeed practice witchcraft. Now, not as in made a deal with the devil and sold my soul for powers witchcraft, as in potions, jars, crystals, herbology, spiritualism, that kind of thing. I mean, if you ask me to levitate, I'm going to laugh at you. You ask me to concoct something that's going to help you get rid of a sore throat or a fever, I'm your gal. It's kind of what I do. Kind of comes in handy. I am what is effectively known as a kitchen witch. Or a green witch. If I was Lord of the Rings, I'd be Radagast. That simple. But I would be executed simply for being myself, as would so many others. Chamomile, lavender are good for sleeping. Green tea can be, but it's not for everybody's. Everybody likes it. It's not everybody's taste. But lavender, chamomile tea with honey instead of sugar. For God's sake, don't have sugar at night. Lavender oils. You can actually get lavender scented like pillow spray. You can get wrist rub oils, bath salts, bubble baths, bath oils, scented oils for like wax burners and stuff. So yeah, lavender and chamomile tea, brilliant for sleeping. See, I like green tea, but yeah, it is an acquired taste. No, everybody likes it. But chamomile with honey. That or CBD tea that you can buy at Savers, but it doesn't taste the great. It helps you sleep, doesn't taste the greatest. Nettle tea, that's another one, but again I didn't suggest it because no everybody's a fan of that one. It's a hit or a miss. Whereas chamomile you can pick up your local Tesco's or Asda, or even your corner shop. Mind you, I'm not a big fan of nettle tea though. Thank you, Conch. Right, so it pisses me off, right? I'll nearly finished, I promise. And it annoys me that people were idiots back then. They didn't understand how things worked. So they blamed it on anybody that was different. because it was easier than admitting that they were stupid and didn't ken how the world worked. I mean, these are the same people that believed that the human body could change shape into a different species at will. So what chance did these women have a survival? Because remember, these are the people that would hold a woman underwater until she drowned. If she drowned, she was innocent or not a witch, but she was dead. And if she didn't drown, she was a witch and got killed. Fuck being a woman back then. That shit is bad for your health. Seriously dangerous. But, so I've got 6 minutes left before my ad break. Exactly, you couldn't have won. And I want to share my theory with you. And Red, you're the one that put me onto it. All these mad orgies happening. And these people were idiots. Contraception wasn't a thing back then. Mass hysteria. There's an STD or an STI, whatever you want to say, that if left untreated can cause hallucinations, hysteria, I can't think all the symptoms off the top of my head, but ding ding ding, syphilis. If all these people had syphilis because they were all getting in about each other, that would cause the hallucinations, the hysteria, the craziness. That would cause men and women to believe that they'd seen the same thing. That would certainly cause people to believe that people are capable of... Yeah, if the guards had syphilis, they might have believed that she was floating. No, like I said, it was just when it was you, Red, that put me onto it. When you said about the orgies, it got me thinking. Syphilis causes craziness. Or it mimics it, if left untreated. So, my theory is that in the 1660s, or 1650s to 1660s, there was a mass breakout of syphilis in the Dundee and Forfar area. They wouldn't have known what it was, they wouldn't have known how to treat it, they wouldn't even have known they had it. No way to cure it, no way to treat it, no way to prevent it. And they were all sleeping with each other. So, and these people were adamant, they were witches, they were poisoning people and able to kill each other with a touch, and this person shapeshift, that person hypnotised a cow to follow another person home. I think that there was a breakout of syphilis in the Dundee area in the 1650s and 1660s. I could be wrong, obviously. This is literally just my theory that came to me halfway through, but I do believe that might be the case. There's no way of finding out, because obviously there was no way to record that, because they didn't care what it was. I mean, all they knew was sex was fun and it made babies. They didn't care there was a dangerous aspect to it. Sometimes it made you a wee bit sore downstairs. Maybe sometimes it hurt when you pee. But other than that, they didn't have a clue. So I think it might have been a syphilis outbreak. Either that or something in the water. But the fact that they were all sleeping together, I mean, I could be completely off the mark, and it might have been witches and shapeshifters and the devil and a black tartan kilt showing up to a blind woman. It could have been, but it was definitely something, because these people did genuinely believe that there were witches, and that they were witches, and that the devil was turning up and doing all these weird things. And but yeah, so that's that. So it's the story of the Forfar witches. Cheers, Red. Thank you for that one, David. Really appreciate it. I'm not here next week. Obviously, I'm in Glasgow. Working. I might be back at the hotel in time to catch your movie conch. So if I'm, I'll say hi and chat. Gone by the time I should be. Fingers crossed, because I've not seen Bohemian Rhapsody yet, and I'm looking forward to that one. But I will be back in 2 weeks with actually a story that Conch kind of put me onto. Again, it's following, it's part 3 of the Supernatural, True Life Supernatural. Quite a fun little one, kind of dark and disturbing, and Conch probably has no idea what I'm talking about, but he'll... something should eventually ring a bell with him. But, so, I'm going to leave it there for tonight, and I will catch yous all in 2 weeks. Well, actually, I'm back on Tuesday and Thursday for usual scaring myself shitless with video games. But until next time, bye bye now.